Introductions from Martin Fitzmaurice.
Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, let's play ball! You please welcome from England, the dynasty moves on, Richie Jones! A young man of the orange, the darting prince of the Netherlands, welcome, Jimi Hendriks!
See you, Richie, maybe, ready to guide us through this final second-round match of the championship here at the Lakeside. Ready to go forward to the quarter-finals, we think. Vassos Alexander and Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Ray. So in one sense, this is a match between two brilliant young players with absolutely nothing to lose on their Lakeside debuts. But in another, it's a match between two young men, both burdened by a massive weight of expectation. On Richie George's shoulders, the daunting figure of his larger-than-life father. How he must sometimes wish he was just Richie Rich and not always Bobby's boy. And so much too expected of young Jimi Hendriks. He might have decided against Purple Haze as his walk-on music, but he's under the pupil gaze of Darryl Fitton. Dazzler's taken the Dutch darting prodigy firmly under his wing.
First leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on!
So, the innocence of youth? Don't believe a word of it. These two are here to win.
100.
Both made it through 3-2 in their first round matches. Jimmy won all three legs in the deciding set against number 2 seed Martin Adams to beat the three-time champion. Actually won his first ever leg on the Lakeside stage with a 1:28 checkout. Richie, on the other hand, trailed both 1-0 and 2-1 against Dave Prince.
60.
Taking 6 of the final 8 legs to win his first ever match on the Lakeside stage. 2 matches between them in World Championship history, but this
81.
is such a mouth-watering encounter. And I bet if you took a straw poll of the majority of people in here, this is the one they wanted to see tonight.
42.
Certainly the one that Marie wants to see. And she'll be glad when it's over as well, I think.
She is about to go through agonies. She thought we're behind her when Bobby packed up playing professionally. That's Kim, Richie's girlfriend. She's new to all this.
65. Jimmy, you require 140.
So against the darts, Jimmy with a chance of 140. Still with a chance of 140s. He looks for another treble. Double 10 for a sensational start.
120.
Well, he took out 128 in the first leg and very nearly took out 140 in the first leg of this second round tie.
And Richie back on 2-3-4.
100.
A very heavy scorer is
Jimmy, you
Richie
require 20.
when the mood takes him. Double 10 for the first leg for Hendriks. It's missed by a mile. One more chance.
No score. Richie, you require 134.
So a chance for Richie then. Not now. Treble 20 with his last half bounce, went to the 18s instead.
Jimmy, you require 20.
And Jimmy again. Looks at the double 10 that he's missed 4 times, but that'll be academic if he hits it now. Against the darts, this first leg of the match. At the 7th time of asking.
Game shot on the first leg.
First blood, Jimi Hendriks.
Second leg, it's Jimmy to throw first. Game on.
That was against the darts. That was a wry, arched eyebrow, wasn't it? Chatting to a man who knows both these players very well. Says Richie George is the better player on the floor. Something happens to the young man up on stage. Gets quick, goes all around the board, and doesn't produce the weight of scoring that he's capable of. That, of course,
100.
can change right here.
Jimmy won his first ranking title in Lithuania last year. He beat fellow Dutchman Willy van der Veer in the final. With scoring like that.
100. Jimmy, you require 161.
Already on a finish after 9 darts. This will be for a 12 dart leg. Can't be done, but Richie's back on 317.
65. 57. Jimmy, you require 96.
So 96 for Jimmy. Treble 20. Treble 20 would leave double 8 this time. But he'll be back.
56. 100. Jimmy, you require 40.
Well, he's on a finish, but double top will make it 2-0 in legs to the Dutchman.
Leg, Jimi Hendriks. Third leg is Richie to throw first. Game on.
Telling in that first leg. Jimi Hendriks missed 6
83.
darts at a double and still won the leg before Richie had a single dart of his own at any double.
58. 140. 83.
Richie's had a remarkable year. He was the runner-up in the BDO International Open in 2012. He beat Darryl Fitton, Jeffrey de Graaf and James Wilson.
139.
Lost to Wayne Warren eventually in that one. Semi-finalist at both the Swiss Open and the Welsh Masters.
77.
Certainly earned his place
Richie
among the seeds.
139.
Treble 13. Just hit the wrong treble, as you can see. So 15 or bull. Treble 15 he's gone for.
123.
And leaves himself double 8.
Lovely leg this from Richie after nervy start. He's at a ton 40, a 139 and a 123, and this double 8 would have been for a 13 dart leg. He won't care how many it takes him as long as he hits the double, which he doesn't. Hendriks, however, way back on 200.
$100.
Well, he's half that.
Richie, you require 4.
But Richie, for his first leg of the match, needs to squeeze it up a shade. Like that.
Yes, that's game shot. Out the third leg. Richie George.
Always good.
Fourth leg is
Get your
Jimmy
first
to
one on the
throw
board.
first. Game on. 137.
Jimmy was backstage, I think on his way to use the facilities, and all of a sudden
60.
he couldn't get past the combined presence of Tony O'Shea and Daryl Fitton, both of whom had some last-minute advice to impart, but they did look like a pair of bouncers.
81.
Hang on a minute, young man. We've been up there. We know a thing or two.
60.
Stockport 2-ball can only have given him good advice, no doubt about that. Daryl Fitton here, shouting him on all the way through his first round match against Martin Adams.
36.
Wesley here supporting his compatriot, Wesley Harms, who's already safely through to the quarterfinals.
Looks half asleep tonight.
100.
Didn't last night.
Forty-three. 60.
If you squint and add some bling, it'll be Bobby. It's the lean over that does it, isn't it?
140.
Great third dart. Take him down to 64. He'll have a crack at 64 to win the first set. Win the first set against the darts as well.
60. Jimmy, you require 64.
Everything around the 16s then for Jimi Hendriks here. Loose first dart. Louis not happy. 13 for double top then.
24. Richie, you require 161.
Well, how about this then? No, can't be done. Maybe the bullseye. No, it's on
60.
20, so 101 if
Jimmy, you require 40.
Hendriks misses this double top. For the set, his twin sister watches on. Double 10.
Yes, that's game shot. And the first set. Jimmy
Sandy
Hendriks.
celebrates.
Second set, first leg is Jimmy to throw first.
The Dutchman
Game on.
with a first set in the bag. Against the darts as well.
And a good start to the second for him, seemingly.
100.
First of the match for Richie George.
$100.
Just have a look at as this second dart bounces out. Look what damage it does to the board.
You get fined for that in a pub.
I was going to say, if you're playing golf, you've got to replace the divot here. It's just having to move across the oppie to adjust. Good third dart from him.
Down to the finish.
$58. Richie, you require 160.
He's got 6 darts if he wants them. He will want them.
140.
But that's very nice. That takes the pressure off. And Hendriks put it back on.
$28.
This is the second time that Richie George has been to a double after 12 darts. It's for a 13-darter. Double 5 for a 14-darter. Might go 2 double 4. He's gone for double 5.
Yes,
Good decision.
shot on the first leg. Richie George.
14 data for Richie.
Second leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
He was disappointed with how he played in his first round match. And he and his dad were out on the practice boards with a tape measure. And they found out that the ockies on the practice boards were a couple of inches short. So he says they've been rectified now. And that's why he was struggling with his range.
54. 45. 58.
There have been 2 or 3 excellent legs. This one just a little bit slower.
100.
These two guys, 2 of the 6 debutants this year. Jimmy, the youngest player in the tournament, just 18 years of age. Richie, 5 years his senior. Started playing darts as a 2-year-old.
And he's been coming here for a while with his dad.
45.
If there a young man was destined to take to the lakeside stage, it's Richie. Hoping to at least emulate his dad, who of course was one of 13 players to reach the final in their debut year. He's teed up a nice chance to take a 2-leg lead in this second set here. 80's looking at treble 20, leaves him 2 darts to double 10. Double 5 for 2-0 in the second.
Yes, that's game shot on the second leg.
Wins it in exactly the same way that he won the first leg. Misses double 10, hits double 5 at the first time of asking. And he's a leg away from making it 1 each going into the first break.
100. 41. 84. 96.
Look at this.
180. 100. Jimmy, you require 137.
6 darts then from 137 to stay alive in this second set. Few options for him.
59.
Chose the orthodox one.
Needs a maximum.
180. Jimmy and acquire 78.
Treble 18 leaves double 12 here for Jimi Hendriks.
54.
So, Richie George, 84 for the set to tie it up at 1-1. Treble 13, great dart for double top.
44.
Applied the pressure with the maximum, got himself a dart for the set, but just missed. So double 12 for Hendriks to stay alive in the set.
Yes, that's game shot on the third leg.
Well done.
Jimi Hendriks, fourth leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
He's really filling him up now.
180!
Richie George, renowned on the circuit for some seriously heavy scoring, justifying his reputation.
140!
Jimmy, only a shade away from emulating it.
Great response. So he can't afford a loose visit.
100.
He'll take 100.
$60.
And he follows up the 140 with a 60. Richie 80 ahead.
$60.
That'll frustrate him.
He is on a finish.
$81.
Hendriks is not.
Richie require 161.
He'll be back. Straight into the treble 3, aiming for the treble 19, and straight into the
32.
treble 1, aiming for the treble 18. Hasn't really helped that visit. I bet he gets punished.
95. Richie require 129.
129 then for Richie. He's got options here. Treble 16. Good dart. Double 12. Brilliant!
Yes, that's game shot. And the second set.
Magnificent darts from Richie George. A 129 checkout to win the set.
Two young players burdened by expectation. It was Hendriks out of the block quickest, but Richie George isn't going to let anyone walk over him. The next two sets when we come back, live on ESPN.
Welcome back to the Lakeside with the second round of the 2013 BDO World Darts Championship is very close to completion now. Second round winners tonight, Holland's Jan Dekker, Paul Jennings from Hartlepool. Scott Waits is through, he comes from Halifax. Well, Hendriks is in this match that's underway now against Richie George. 23 and 18, the age of these two young men on a World Championship hockey. Scott Mitchell's on the balcony. Well, I want to talk about Jimmy first of all, because let's not forget he beat Martin Adams, fresh-faced youngster. He's showing absolutely no fear.
He's fresh-faced to the TV, but I can assure you he's not fresh-faced to us players. He's been out there all year, whooping butt basically on the bigger players. That was not as much as a surprise to the players as it probably was to the viewing public.
So beating Martin Adams and dealing with the hype that surrounds Richie, because let's make no mistake about it, Bobby was up here before, sort of during those first two sets, and the place goes crazy.
Yeah, I think Bobby uses the place well. I think the place then goes back and gets behind Richie, which is good. I've been impressed with how Richie's come back, because he really did get hammered that first set, and he's come back. Jimmy was a little bit slow in the second set to start off, gave Richie some confidence, and he's taken it and taken the set with that confidence.
It's exhausting when Bob's up here, isn't it? Just listening to him, it's absolutely exhausting.
The balcony's rocking, that's all I'll say, the balcony rocks.
So what's your overall assessment of the first two sets from the two players?
Well, I think it's been a cagey start, but now at 1-1, I think we're going to start to see the game come alight. I don't think any of these young men want to give up their chance to be in the last 8.
Fascinating match. Back to Vassos and Jim.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, third set, first leg. It's Richie to throw first. Game on.
So Richie George with the darts in his hand. Slow first set, but the boy from Ardley put a foot wrong in the second.
100.
129 checkout in the fourth leg to take the set. It's all square, and still the most significant moments of the night lie ahead.
81.
What a way to take out 129.
Lovely celebration as well. And how about this? Straight from the restart. Straight in the red bit.
39. $100.
Ritchie already down to a finish. Just after 9 darts on 121.
95. Ritchie require 121.
Well, he's done 129 under no pressure for this 121. Might fancy it. Treble 17 would leave the bullseye. Go on, Ritchie. Go for it, not far
96.
away.
Ritchie require 25.
So 9 double eights for the first leg of the third. Double 4.
17.
He's got time in hand.
$43. Ritchie require 8.
So double 4 for the first
Yes,
leg
that's game
of
shot.
the
Take
third
the first
set.
leg. Richie George. Second leg is Jimmy to throw first. Game on.
Four out of 5 for him now. Ritchie.
100.
And he has really improved since a very difficult opening set. Look at that average, 73.5. 95
140.
is more like it. And it's what he's known for. Heavy, heavy scoring.
100.
The treble 20 on his home board has to be replaced every 48 hours. It gets so worn out because of this. Look at that.
180.
And no one enjoying it more than our fellow commentator, the legend that is Tony Green.
$66.
If only he'd thought to dress up. In 3.
Straight back in the treble.
100.
Down to 81. He's only thrown 9
65.
darts this leg.
Ritchie require 81.
Treble 15 leaves double 18 for an 11 dart leg. 12 will do.
Shot. And the second leg.
12 will do very
Richie
nicely.
George.
Look what it means to him.
Third leg, it's Ritchie to throw first. Game on.
Straight back in. How about this?
140.
And this is why there has been so much hype about Richie George. Trina Gulliver, multi-time winner here at Lakeside. Travels the circuit with Richie.
39.
He really has
140.
found his range. Mum knows it. He knows it. And so does Jimi Hendriks.
140.
Gary Robson appreciating it as well. Pride of the Tyne looking on. 2 180s for Hendriks, 5 for Ritchie so far.
140.
Dad appreciates it. So does Ray. So does Scott Mitchell.
97. Richie, you require 41.
Tops for a set.
31. Jimmy, you require 170.
Can Hendriks do something special?
One treble 20. Needs another. Doesn't quite get it.
97.
So Richie is
require
back
10.
for double 5 for the set. Can't finish from here now, obviously. He'll go for 1 to leave himself double 2 and hope that he's back.
Jimmy, you require 73.
73 here for Jimmy. 16 would leave Bull. Kind of chance that perhaps he knew he had to take. And Richie now with a chance to finish the set. Lost the first, but this for the third to go 2-1 up.
Yes, ice game shot and the third set. Richie George.
And at the moment, he's thoroughly enjoying his Jimi Hendrix experience.
Game on. $121.
As it's been said many times this week, there's no hiding place on that lakeside stage when it's not going your way. 6 legs out of 7 now that Jimmy has lost.
And very little big-time experience to fall back on.
45.
These players know each other really well. As Jimmy's twin sister and dad, Louis, look on. Louis hoping his son can become king of the slingers.
93.
This is better from the Dutchman. Much better from the Dutchman.
Richie's last score was 95, so. $56.
$151 left, obviously, here.
23.
Now, this is the problem. This leg, Jimi Hendrix has thrown a 121, followed by a 45, and a maximum, followed by a 23.
60.
Luckily for him,
Jimmy, you require 132.
Richie is having a rare struggle. Treble 19 leaves the bullseye.
52. $26. Jimmy, you require 80.
Treble 20. Treble 17 I'll look for now, and double 12 is his shot for the first leg of the fourth.
Yes, ice game shot on the first leg. Jimi Hendrix, second leg is Richie to throw first. Game on.
Well done, Jimmy, back in it.
60.
Has got the darts in this fourth set, Jimmy, and as a consequence,
82.
all he's got to do is continue to hold his throw, and he'll be off the stage at the next break at 2 sets each. And a reminder, they're all too aware,
60.
it's the first to 4 sets in these second round ties. First to 5 in the quarterfinals, but first to 4 tonight.
What a prize for both these players. Placing the lakeside
96.
quarterfinals, and both will be aware that they are in the half of the draw that is more open.
$100.
We've heard about Football Manager's kicking every ball. Bobby throwing every dart here.
This is tougher for him than the final hit that he played with a broken back.
68.
The crowd got wind of Bobby up on the balcony and chanted, "There's only one Bobby George, one Bobby George."
60.
Their chant for Jimi Hendrix is "There's only two Jimi Hendrix."
Got some news for them. Technically speaking, they're about 40 years out.
Is this one left?
40.
Equally talented, just in a different sphere.
$100.
They could do some damage here, Jimmy.
180.
Great time for a maximum. It's his fourth of the match. 11 leaves ball here. Double 14 for a 121.
107.
Shouldn't have paused.
Jimmy, you require 35.
That really would have hurt. 3 double 16. Two eights, and he needs them. He knows he needs them.
19.
He wasn't far
Richie,
away,
you
but
require 14.
close but no cigar. Double 7 for Richie George.
No score. Jimmy, you require 16.
Little bit of trouble for Richie. Double 4 now for Jimi Hendrix.
Yes,
He's 2 legs up in the fourth set.
Jimi Hendrix. Third leg, it's Jimmy to throw first. Game on.
Well, significant that in that leg, Jimmy had a dart at double 16 and missed it. It's the first time in this match that he's gone that way, leaving himself on 16s. Did it a few times in the match against Martin Adams and didn't hit it once. He threw 5 darts at it and missed them all. But nerveless double tops at the first time of asking to take the final 2 legs in that match, and double toppers not been too bad for him tonight.
A couple of young, rutting stags up on stage, vying for supremacy.
96.
The Englishman has it at the moment, but is Hendrix coming back? The Dutchman a leg away from levelling the match at 2 sets all.
96.
Richard looking at 5 around the 19 here for 170.
133.
That's even better. Hitting 7 of them.
Good thinking, though, from Richie. No panicking. Clear of thought. And true of aim.
90. Richie, you require 132.
Another bull for a double 16.
$74. Jimmy, you require
Interesting that having hit that
161.
first ball, he just moved his eye line rather than trying to follow the second one straight in. Easy from here. What do you reckon, Jim?
47. Richie, you require
A lot of
58.
thought for 17 points. 18 for double top to keep the set alive. Come off the barrel, and does.
Yes, ice game shots on the third leg. Richie George. Fourth leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
And a leg back against the darts for Richie George.
140.
Well, the crowd are loving it, shouting themselves hoarse.
100.
Plenty of horses in tonight, but there's only one jockey. Never a truer word. Those T-shirts in tribute to another legend who recently left us.
Oh, yes! Yes, indeed, Richie George with his 6th maximum of the match. It's 10 in total between them.
26.
This is to level the set, 81 points. But look how far back Jimi Hendriks is.
Richie require 40.
Double top. 2 more tries at it if he needs them, and he will.
Yes, that's game shot. And the 4th leg. Richie George.
But he got it, and it's 2-2. The 4th set going to a deciding leg. Although Jimmy has the throw.
How big a leg is this? At the end of it, 2-2 in sets,
135.
or 3-1. 135 is exactly what Hendriks would have wanted with the darts throwing
100.
first. Can't afford too many outside the treble 20.
82.
Good switch. Lucky.
55.
Impression Jimmy just trying to compose himself. Palpably the most crucial leg of the match so far.
42.
Not the time to throw in a 42.
$51.
They're both struggling.
$96.
But he's on a finish. And he won't be.
60. Jimmy require 146.
Can't finish from here and give himself a great chance.
41.
When it matters most, struggling to find the treble 20. There's one.
140.
And there's another.
Jimmy require 105.
And suddenly things change, and this 105 is under all sorts of pressure. Treble 18 for double 16. Richie
63.
George then.
Sorry,
95
73.
points away
Richie require 95.
from a 3-1 lead. Will he start with a bull? Treble 20 for double 16. Can't be done.
71. Jimmy requires
So double
32.
16, and just a reminder, he hasn't hit it the entire week. Still hasn't, but could hit double 8 for the set. One more chance.
60.
Big, big, big darts, and it leaves Richie George on 24, double 12. Double 6 for the set, double 3.
18.
Agony, agony,
Jimmy
agony.
require 16.
Double 8 for the set.
Yes, that's game shot.
Shoots and scores.
Jimi Hendriks.
And there is nothing between these two after 4 of 7 sets. It's 2 apiece.
Magnificent stuff from the two young men. And just when it looked as though Richie George might be running away with it, He's missed some doubles, and Jimi Hendriks has held his nerve. The Lakeside spellbound. We're back to a conclusion next.
Welcome back. Quick check on what's been happening here at the Lakeside tonight. The quarter-final lineup for this year's BDO World Darts Championship will be finalised in the next half an hour or so. Earlier tonight, cracker of a match saw Jan Dekker win through to the last 8. Jason Cullen didn't get a set against Paul Jennings. Paul Jennings threw terrific darts tonight. Gert de Vos lost out to the tournament favourite Scott Waits. On their way back to the stage to finish off the final second-round match that will complete the quarter-final lineup. Richie George and Jimi Hendriks. Big night for these two young men, and this is developing into quite a game. Scott Mitchell's on the balcony. Drama's building, excitement's building. These two young men are supplying us with great entertainment.
Most definitely. I think we're going to have to see Richie come out and fire now, because he'll have the disappointment of losing that last set.
Well, that leg of darts was a 3-1 or a 2-2 leg of darts. It's crucial.
Going into the break at 3-1, you're a much happier person than 2-2.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, fifth set.
Back to Vassos Alexander and Jim Proudfoot. The match about to continue.
It's been magnificent. Enthralling.
140.
Next to nothing between the two young men. Most of the statistics stacking up in Richie's favour, but the significant one, of course. 2 sets all.
97.
Sorry, Jim.
Just going to say, Vas, both men have significant support in the crowd, not just from the punters, of course, but also from the darting fraternity. Darryl Fitton sitting with Jimmy's sister. Darryl, a very close friend of Jimmy's.
54.
So they both have a dazzler cheering them on. Thanks to Richard for feeding me that line.
60.
You've got a feel for Darryl Fitton.
140.
He's looking nervous, as you like.